Hey folks, just want to let you know I'm also going to need some slides for CSS, which is at the same location. So if we go to W3 Schools and we go to Learn CSS, then we can go to the Introduction and get started doing this CSS. There is some difference between this project and the previous one. This one, you might need to click some items and get screenshots. So for example, here we have CSS Introduction, and you can see I have the slide CSS Introduction, and it's got a number 1. And it has what is CSS. Here it's just copy and paste, so nothing big there. But here we have CSS Demo, one HTML page, multiple styles. And it says here we will show one HTML page display with 4 different style sheets. If you click these style sheets, it shows different styles. This should be very rare. It shouldn't be very frequent, but every once in a while you'll have it in there. If you forget it, don't worry about it. I can always do it myself, but just if you think to do it, I would appreciate it. But so what I did is I used the snipping tool. I clicked on the snipping tool and then did new, and then I just chose the area that I wanted to snip, which is the screen. And then I did File, Save As, and I saved it as a picture on my desktop. And so you can do that. What I did is I just cut and pasted them into the 5 different pictures, cut it and pasted them into a section of the PowerPoint slide. So here you can see it says the subheading is CSS Demo, one HTML page, multiple styles, and here the subheading is the same, but it has the pictures under there. So that's the only complicated piece. If you get confused or if it's not clear what to do, just forget about it. Don't worry about it. The key thing is to get these done as quickly as possible with as high a quality as possible. And if it's too complicated, I mean, obviously I can do this all myself, but I need your help because it's just a lot of work. There's another thing that you might want to be aware of. As we go through these slides, you may have to screenshot certain things. Like it might be easier to create a slide. Like here it says CSS syntax and selectors. I'll create a new slide. And I'll create CSS syntax and selectors. And you can see here that there's this picture there. There's no easy way to get this picture in there. So in this case, we might need to do this. We would have to do this the snippet tool and do new and click the area, select the area that we want to put in there. Go File, Save As, and I'll call this, I think it's number 6. I just use a sequential number. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the words CSS syntax is the subtitle, and I'll take the words, paste those in there. Whoops. Let's see if I can get these words. Well, it looks like it did get the words in there. I'll just go into Notepad, paste the words, and then paste them in here. And you can see that they're not very well, I don't know what, they're hard to move. So here, let's make sure this looks correct. We have a CSS rule consists of a selector and a declaration block, and then it has this picture. And then here it has the selector points to the HTML you want. So I don't know what that is, but here we can put these words here, and here we can put the picture. So here I can do insert picture, and I'll use this picture in here. So here I've got the picture. And in this case, it's the same subtitle, so I can just delete this section here. And now it has this picture, and it has all the words that were in that section CSS syntax. So you can basically mess with this a little bit so that you can make everything appear correct. Now the next thing I want to show you is that sometimes it'll have an example, try it yourself. So here it's going to be CSS syntax, and it's going to be an example, try it yourself. So if you go to try it yourself, you can see that there's this, it's kind of a big empty space here. So let me just show you what this is. So now so this is still part of CSS syntax. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this page, duplicate this slide. So this is CSS syntax and selectors 1, and now we're at CSS syntax and selectors 2, and this time we're going to have CSS syntax 1 and CSS syntax 2, right? Because we have two sections of CSS syntax, and we're going to do the example here. So you can kind of see it says here all the following elements will have a red text color, and then here if we go to that, it says all of them have a red text color. So basically, instead of this, I don't need that. I'm going to put this code in there. Really what I can do is I can just put this whole picture in there. So basically all I have to do is go to the try it yourself, and I'll click on try it yourself. I might have to adjust my screen so that it's not wasting too much space, right? Because we don't want to waste sorry about this. CSS introduction. Next. CSS syntax. Okay, great. So try it yourself. It will minimize, or we'll size the screen. Boy, this is really a project, isn't it? So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the size of the screen small enough, and then I'll use the snipping tool and snip just the piece that I want. So it's got the code and the words in there, and it'll file save as. File number 7. Save that. And so effectively all I did is screenshot this code here, and now I can delete this. I can actually delete all of these content boxes, and I can just paste the picture right in here. Now I might have to move some things around to make it work. I'll push this up a little bit, and I'll push this up. I want to make sure my email address is in every slide visible. So you see how that is. So you can just basically paste the picture right in there. You don't have to actually copy everything, type everything in. You can just show the results of the try me. So here you don't have to put the example try it yourself in there. You just need to click on try it yourself and then screenshot this, and that should be good enough. And then move on to the next one. I hope that's clear. So basically just to reiterate, if you see a picture in here, you can either screenshot the whole thing and put it in there, or you can move the picture. If you see a try it yourself, I do not want you to, you do not need to do this example. You just need to click on try it yourself and screenshot the result as a separate page under the same subheading as whatever the Try It Yourself is in. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, give me a call. Thanks.